he would step across the line. Habitually. He's a habitual line stepper.
You make me happy. Thank you all for joining us on the Habitual Line Steppers podcast. I am Garrett Charles Langley Henson.
And I am Terry Ricardo DeShazo II. What's good, man? We're back.
We are. It's the last week of football for the entire season.
Super Bowl week.
Yeah, man. I'm happy that the Super Bowl is here. I'm excited to, get the friends together, have a couple beers, have a good time. But I'm also sad that we're going to be without football until late August, early September. 8-9 months, Terry?
Yeah, it'll be a while. This is my time to shine. I love the NBA, so NFL, we bid you adieu. But this should be a good Super Bowl, hopefully.
At least it'll give me plenty of time to delude myself into thinking the Falcons have a real shot at making the playoffs next year.
Just enjoy the moment, man. Stop with these expectations, man. Just enjoy the season, all right? But yeah, this was
how are you planning to enjoy the Super Bowl, Terry? You got a watch party going? You guys going anywhere? Where are you going to be watching?
We were actually supposed to be going out of town, but it got canceled. Like flights and everything. So we're gonna, I guess, just maybe go to our friend's house. They're hosting like a party, so we'll just go over there, have a good time, have some brews, chill out.
You bringing a dish?
Honestly, bro, I haven't even talked about it because our original plans got postponed. So I haven't even talked to the host. I think because they didn't expect us to come, so I think they should be fine. We might just be able to just show up with some beers, or a bottle or something, probably. So, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. What about you? You're hosting, you said?
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I haven't even hit anybody up yet.
Yeah. No plans yet?
I've been so busy with this soccer shit and coaching, bro. But I know I might just host it at my place and have some people come here.
But you haven't talked to anybody, so who knows?
Right.
Who knows when you're in?
Exactly. I was thinking about it, though. With it being Super Bowl week, it's a great time for commercials, and it's a great time for food, too. I think that's one of my favorite things about Super Bowl parties is the food.
Yeah. Fire-ass food.
The best one that we ever had, ironically, was when the Falcons lost the Super Bowl, when we got fucking 8 pounds of Peruvian chicken and rice and beans and plantains.
Yeah, I remember that. Did you cater that, or did you cook that? I forget.
We went to Alpaca to get that.
Okay. Yeah. Yo, shout out to Alpaca Chicken. If you're from the North Carolina, specifically the Triad area, you know exactly what we're talking about. But Alpaca Peruvian chicken, bro. And they got these stores popping up everywhere. They're popping up all over the place. But god damn, they got some good chicken, man.
$19 really whole chicken, 3 sides. Can't beat it, man.
It's so good, bro. It's so fucking good. I'm sure a lot of other, states and cities have some sort of Peruvian type of chicken thing going on, but Alpaca got that good shit, man. Shout out to y'all. Y'all are killing it.
It got me thinking, what's your non-negotiable for food, or what's your top draft pick for food at a Super Bowl party?
Chicken wings, bro. Not even a question. Not even a thought. Chicken wings, straight up. If you don't got chicken wings, I'm upset. Not gonna lie.
I agree with you. I think they have to be there. Now, what flavor are we talking? Are we going full-on Atlanta lemon pepper wet? What are we talking about here?
Nah, just for an individual person that's not a restaurant, just grill the wings. I'm fine with that. Or oven. I'm cool with that. Anything else, don't get freaky with it if you're not experienced. I'm cool with just a grilled or oven-baked wing. I'm cool with that. Flats, drumsticks, I don't really care. Either one.
No sauce preference. You don't care.
Not
sweet,
for
spicy.
Nah, not for like a person making them. If I'm going out, last year we went to Yard House, which I'm sure you've heard of. Nope. It's like a big chain. You've never heard of Yard House? It's basically just like a big sports bar chain or whatever. But if I'm going out, I'll probably go. Just give me a hot, just a regular hot wing. I mean, of course, most black people like a lemon pepper. Lemon pepper's good, but garlic parmesan's good as well.
I don't want to say that's why I suggested it, but that's why I suggested it.
No, I mean, lemon pepper is good. I'm not obsessed with it, but honestly, just give me a nice hot wing. Wings, you can't really mess wings up though. So like I got no complaints. But wings is number one for me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think you got to have wings there. I like a little like sweet and spicy teriyaki. You know, get like the hottest sauce that they got, mix it half and half with the teriyaki. That's usually my go-to for the wings.
No, that's a good one. That's a good one too.
I think
number one though.
I think for me, you know, I think your number one pick is right with the wings. If I had to pick something else, I'm gonna go with chili.
Yeah.
Yeah,
chili's pretty good.
A lot of different stuff you can do with chili. You could have a bowl. You could put it over some spaghetti and you know, have a little 5-way. You could put it on some nachos and have a little nacho cheese chili type of deal going on.
That's true. That's true.
I'm a big fan of chili for the sport.
Chili's fire. Chili's fire.
And it's easy to cook and just get a lot of. I don't have to make a bunch of shifts, putting new shit in the oven, rotating the burners. You know what I mean?
That's true. That is true.
Just put it in a pot, cook it, have a bunch of beers, and the shit will be ready.
I agree with that. Those are two solid choices. Anything else? I mean, you know, people love nachos and shit. Hot dog. I'm cool with hot dogs. You know, I like a good hot dogs. You can't really fuck those up.
You're a hot dog fanatic, man.
You don't like hot dogs? Hot dogs are good.
Nobody has your enthusiasm for hot dogs. You have unmatched enthusiasm for hot dogs.
Hot dogs are fire, bro. Hot dog, chili, mustard. I mean, come on. What are we talking about? And if you're getting freaky with it, put some onions and shit. Like it's good, bro.
I blame your baseball upbringing for the hot dog fascination.
That's possible. That is possible. My dad played baseball.
You never had a chance, Terry.
My dad was a baseball player, man. I don't know what to tell you. We ate a lot of hot dogs. But honestly, if you're hosting a party, don't forget about the veggies, dog. All right? I don't want everybody with fucking bubble guts just eating chili, hot dogs, chicken wings, and hamburgers and shit, and then they're blowing up your fucking bathroom. Key ingredient is to sneak some veggies in there. Roasted some shit, broccoli, roast some shit, shish kebabs.
Okay.
Celery with the ranch, carrot ranch. You gotta put some veggies in there.
On Super Bowl bro, shish kebabs. I like what you're doing there.
I'm telling you, bro. If you don't give people veggies, they're blowing your bathroom up. They're absolutely obliterating your bathroom. Just from experience, and I know you've hosted some Super Bowl parties, and we were younger when we were like bachelors. We didn't give a fuck. But at this point in my life, 32 years old, don't fuck my bathroom up. That shit is gross. I hate it.
Well, you're giving me something to think about, Terry. I may have to break out some Super Bowl shish kebabs this weekend if I do end up hosting. All right. Well, let's talk about two teams that may end up getting skewered on the biggest game of the season.
Yes,
the
sir.
Super Bowl preview starts now. We got our Niners. We got the Chiefs.
Yep.
I don't know why I said our Niners.
I don't know why you said that either. I was like, nah, I'm good on San Francisco.
Yeah. You guys know how hardcore 49ers fans that we are on this podcast.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, we got San Francisco and Kansas City, which is not in the state of Kansas, playing each other in the Super Bowl rematch of a couple of years ago. What?
Yeah.
Just aside, what did we eat that Super Bowl? We were over at fucking Noel's house. I think we had. That's when that motherfucker almost burnt the house down, and his grill caught on fire, and Noel just left.
Was that the one in Chapel Hill at that random house?
Yeah, that one surrounded by trees and shit. I thought we were gonna burn down the whole fucking neighborhood.
I didn't get there until like not mid first quarter, but the game had already started. I got there kind of late.
Fucking Santi's friend was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna cook the steaks. I work at a restaurant. I know how to cook the steaks. I'm gonna cook the steaks." Motherfucker cooked these shits till they were a leather belt. I had them marinating for 36 hours. You would have had to cook them for 35 to get them as tough as he did.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't even remember that though. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I know I did eat hella hot dogs. I probably ate like 7 or 8 hot dogs.
I remember because I went to the Mexican grocery store and bought 2 pounds of fucking marinated steak. And this guy found a way to ruin 2 pounds of steak.
So you're telling me that Super Bowl in 2019 when that was the 49ers Chiefs? You saying that?
Yeah.
No. Was it? Really?
Believe so.
No, that had to be way earlier. Besides the point.
That was Mahomes' first win.
Besides the point. I don't think so. Because I was dating Shay in 2019, so I don't think so. I feel like this was more like...
It may have been 2020.
I feel like This had to be, if this isn't Chapel Hill, I'm telling you, this had to be like 2016. Besides the point, if someone's hosting a fucking Super Bowl party and they burn their own house down and they just leave, that is fucking hilarious. That is really stupid, but shout out to Noel for that.
Shout out to Noel as we were running around asking his neighbors if they had a fucking fire extinguisher. And he sees a fire and smoke coming out of his house and continues to go to Food Lion to get mixers.
No, that's hilarious, man. Nah, I honestly don't even remember the year. I'm actually gonna look it up because you just made me have to. I gotta look that up because the original one with Jimmy Garoppolo was a quarterback when he kind of blew their chance to win it. I think it was 2019, but we definitely were in Chapel Hill though. I just don't remember where we were. But that was a good Super Bowl though. That was a good one. Another close one. Not another close one, but like an actual close Super Bowl. I fuck with that one. Shout out to the Niners, though. A lot of Super Bowls in the last couple of years. And the Chiefs. This is two very good, historically well-known franchises I like going in this bowl, though.
That's right,
Shout out to the boys.
So let's get right into our analysis, huh?
Let's do it.
Let's start off giving some key matchups to this game. All right, I got a couple that I wrote down here. You can give me some that you have as well. My first key matchup that I'm looking at in this game, Terry, is Nick Bosa versus Jawan Taylor. The Chiefs, they saw how Mahomes was running for his life in that Super Bowl against the Bucs from Tom Brady. And so
that was horrible.
Reallocated some money away from Tyreek Hill, who they let go to the Dolphins to upgrade their offensive line. Beautiful, they gave Jawan Taylor $80 million, making him the second highest paid player on the whole team behind Patrick Mahomes. So far, that has not really worked out too well. This season, Taylor has allowed 5 sacks and 47 pressures while committing a league-leading 20 penalties, Terry.
They be holding. They hold.
Bosa is coming off a game against the Detroit Lions where he played against probably the league's best offensive line and still had 2 sacks and still found a way to impact the game.
Interesting sacks, yeah. I wouldn't say they were like game changers, but yeah, he got a couple sacks in that game. Just a little context.
Yeah, I mean, they came in big moments, but he wasn't, like, consistently dominant.
Nah, I wouldn't say so.
But, yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to have to game plan for this one. I feel like they're going to have to use a lot of rollouts. They're going to have some tight ends and running backs chip and give them some help. They're going to have to use some motion to bring in an extra blocker. Because if they leave Jawan Taylor, he of 20 penalties on an island against Nick Bosa, I have a feeling Patrick Mahomes is going to be running for his life just like he was against the Bucs.
Yeah, that one-on-one matchup is going to be one to definitely look out for. But honestly, bro, I don't know. We'll talk about that later, the overall view. But yeah, that's a good matchup to look at. Just one-on-one individually on pass plays.
Yeah. What's one that you're looking at?
Honestly, just the trenches in general for me. So I got O-line versus D-line. Let's see how. So, like, overall, the 49ers defense, I don't know about you, but I have not been impressed with what the D-line has been doing, especially in the run game. Like, Joey Bosa, I don't know who's on the inside for them. Quentin Williams, maybe, and then, like, get their Chase Young acquisition.
They got Eric Armstead and Javon Hargrave, who both made the Pro Bowl last season.
But this year, and especially in the playoffs, I feel like the Green Bay Packers kind of ran on them. I mean, I know Detroit is known for running and stuff, but I don't know. I'm looking for them. If they can't tighten that up, I can see this being kind of a game just handed to the Chiefs. Pacheco runs hard. You know, they kind of switched up what they do because they don't have Tyreek Hill anymore. The receivers haven't really been getting a lot of, separation. Travis Kelce has turned it on the playoffs, and Rashee Rice is kind of turning it on towards the end of the season. But run game, can the 49ers stop it? Because Detroit stomped all over them. The Green Bay Packers stomped all over them. They gave up at least 24 points or 21 in the last couple of games. I just feel like they got a better defense than that. But I don't know, man. Too easy in the run game.
Yeah.
Trenches. What can you do?
I think that's a good call out, Terry. I got actually some numbers on that.
Go ahead.
49ers defense in the regular season ranked 3rd in the NFL against the run. They allowed less than 90 rushing yards a game. In the playoffs, like you mentioned, they gave up 320 yards to the Packers and Lions combined.
Insane.
In the 2 playoff games, their expected points added per play was minus 1.0, and they allowed 2.6 yards per drive.
Jesus
Terry,
Christ.
those 2 numbers would finish below the Cardinals defense, who ranked at the bottom of the NFL in both of those categories this year.
Yeah, that's insane. Is there any injuries or something that happened, or are they just struggling?
I think they're just struggling, dog. Like it's a different animal, playoff football, and the more you try to take away other things, the more you're going to have like gaps somewhere else. But I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think their priority, one of them, has got to be making Kansas City one-dimensional and trying to take away Isaiah Pacheco, because we've seen now that Pat Mahomes can lean on this run game and Andy Reid has gotten a little less pass happy.
It's a different type of team.
Yeah, the way they were able to control the clock against the Ravens. That first half against the Ravens, Terry, their first 2 drives lasted 16 minutes.
Yep. I think that's exactly what they wanted to do, though.
Over a quarter in the first 2 drives of football just gone off the clock, and they scored touchdowns on both those drives.
Mm-hmm.
That just puts a lot of pressure on the opposing quarterback to feel like, hey, how many more possessions, how many more chances am I going to get at this thing? Am I going to have 4? Am I maybe going to have
facts.
5? Like, I got to almost go perfect when I'm out here. And then you see guys like Lamar Jackson starting to press a little bit.
Yeah. So just kind of have to, I don't know. I've been noticing that in those playoff games. Essentially, maybe I'm, just to kind of give some credit to the Niners, or maybe just like understand why they've been doing that. I think like their secondary, of course, we think is kind of weak. So maybe they've just been kind of trying to shore that up more than just getting, ran all over the place.
Right.
I don't know. But I mean, because we don't really know many of their secondary guys. Like they're not that great, on that side of the ball, but can't just give up the fucking 300 something rushing yards in 2 games. That's not the recipe that you want, because then you don't get the ball back, and you're not really a great team from playing behind.
You can't just play like with 2 high safeties or like cover 4 coverage with a bunch of guys off the line and be like Drake Greenlaw and Fred Warner are just going to clean up everything and do everything themselves.
Nah, they can't. They can't just be wishing and hoping. And plus, like, their first game was Jordan Love. He looked pretty decent.
Good.
I mean, because it's like,
good.
And that's the thing. Like, if you're gonna give up the run, you can't also then give up like decent pass yards as well to Jordan Love and Jared Goff. It's not like they looked bad in both of those games. Like, they were still passing the ball as well as running it. So, 49ers are supposed to be this generational team. The numbers were saying, regular season numbers wise, they were one of the best teams, like, in the history of football. But I don't know. Watching those 2 playoff games had me a little shaky.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it too. And especially when a guy like Travis Kelce seems to be ramping up back into his peak
time to
form
shine
in the biggest games. That's the second matchup that I'm looking at, is Travis Kelce versus Fred Warner and Trey Greenlaw.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce went off in the game against the Ravens, despite being covered by probably the best safety in the league. He had 11 catches. He had over 100 yards. He had a touchdown. Set the record for playoff receptions in a career. He's only 3 away from tying Jerry Rice in touchdown catches in the postseason.
In catches, yeah.
This is going to be a marquee matchup. 2 of the best linebackers in the NFL. The Niners like to play zone coverage, to protect those corners and to allow those linebackers to get, breaks coming towards the football and being able to read the quarterback's eyes and all that. Travis Kelce is a known zone killer. I mean, that's probably what he does the best is, he played quarterback in high school. He knows the coverages. He knows the gaps. He knows how to sit down and just stop and box somebody out and, give an option to Mahomes in like tight windows and stuff like that. I feel like they're going to have to go a little bit more man-to-man this game. You know what I mean? So that Kelce doesn't just pick you apart in these underneath joints. But I don't really know if the Niners have somebody who can hang with him man to man. Like last season, they had their safety, Tashawn Gibson, matched up on him. He ended up getting absolutely toasted. And so then they switched to Jimmy Ward. Jimmy Ward started getting toasted and is no longer on the team. You know, their nickelback is like the dude who's this season taking the most of like the snaps on tight ends. He's 5'10". So I don't know if that's an answer to Travis Kelce. I think this is a turning point of the game and something I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on to see if those two linebackers can hang with Kelce in some man coverage, because I don't think the safeties or the corners have any shot.
Yeah. So, like, if you want to look back kind of at the original Super Bowl, it was the 2020 joint, the 2020, 31-20. Chiefs beat the 49ers, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was like the last great thing to do before COVID, by the way. You know, shout out to that. But Kelce was 6 receptions for 43 yards and a TD. You know, he wasn't killing it. But I also don't think like they shut him down. He was targeted 7 times. He only really messed up on like one pass for the most part, Mahomes. But I don't think there's a single linebacker in the entire world, even Travis Kelce being 34, like that can stop him. You know, so they're gonna have to figure something out. They're gonna have to do some double teams. The zone is probably not gonna work. They're in too much of a rhythm for me to like think that they're gonna stop that duo. You know, if I were them, I'd probably focus on the other guys, but I don't know, man. If we're going to do that matchup alone, I think Kelce's got that matchup. Shout out to Fred Warner, but I don't think a linebacker can stop Travis Kelce. And like you said, their secondary, not one singular guy is going to be able to stop him, like individually. They're going to have to just do it, you know, the Bill Belichick way. Don't let that motherfucker score a touchdown. Stop him. Double him up, triple him if you have to. Just watch him. Because everybody else, I mean, Rashid is like, he's coming into his own, but nobody else on the team scares me. I don't think they scare them. So that is a good matchup, though.
All right.
Kelce in that
one. What's your next matchup you're looking at?
Next matchup, I'm going to go on the other side of the ball, man. I'm going to go on the 49ers side offensively. McCaffrey and the Chiefs linebackers.
I like it. Tell me more.
So what are they going to do against the ultimate Swiss Army knife of the NFL, Mr. McCaffrey? Best white running back I've ever seen in my life. I can't name another one. So to be fair, you know, I can't give you a second one besides like Mike Allstott, but
Peyton Hillis, Madden cover athlete.
Madden cover. Is he a fullback? It was talking about H-back. But McCaffrey versus the linebackers, and honestly, shout out to Spags and the defense in general. Like, I think compared to the 49ers and the Ravens, like this regular season and playoffs, I think that the Chiefs defense has been the most consistent and probably the best all year, I would say, for me. So I'm just kind of interested to see, because I believe the Chiefs had a couple injuries to their line, like some of the starting linebackers, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know what Spags is going to do. You know the names? I forget the names of the.
I think it was Gay who was.
I know Gay, and he was like, he's decently good too. But
he's the guy that they're like, he's the spy linebacker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's got a little bit more speed. Trying to contain Brock Purdy, who turned to Vanilla Vic against the Detroit Lions in the second half.
Yep. I mean, because Detroit just went full on man to man and forgot that quarterbacks can run, you know, which was kind of funny. But yeah, I don't know. I want to see what they can do. I mean, I don't think they're going to be able to like stop McCaffrey in any way, you know, shape or form, but maybe contain him a bit. But we'll see. I mean, I feel like they're going to do like Justin Reed is going to watch out for him. Like, he's a safety for them that is, you know, turned out to be really good this season. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, some things that they did in the Super Bowl against them when they had Tyrann Mathieu at that time, they kind of used him to stop some of the 49ers like shorter pass routes that they were doing. So we'll see what they can do on that side. But if I were to say who's going to win that matchup, I'd probably say McCaffrey, though. I like McCaffrey. He's too fucking good. He's a Hall of Famer, bro.
I mean, he's unbelievable.
He's the best player on their team.
I couldn't agree with you more. I got a couple numbers on Christian McCaffrey here that might blow your mind.
Blow my gasket.
Led the league in rushing yards before contact and rushing yards after contact.
And after?
Yeah.
Beast.
First player to do that in 7 years.
Jesus Christ.
And he's also lining up out wide. They go 5 out and split McCaffrey out, and he runs routes like a wide receiver. They have him running freaking option routes as like the first look out of everybody. And
He can catch.
Yeah, and it just you see. Let me know what you see, and then you cook. The Niners, as much as they like to run these tight formations, number one team in the NFL in terms of like their condensed formations. Like they have the lowest average width between their wide receivers on each side. They also run the 5th most empty sets and split McCaffrey out and go empty backfield.
Makes sense.
They run those empty sets, Terry, they average 10 yards a play.
Damn. So they're killing. Yeah, it's tough because McCaffrey's a 5th wide receiver. That makes it really fucking tough, man.
Yeah, man. So I think that's a good matchup, those linebackers. To your point earlier about the Chiefs' defense stepping up and being one of the best defenses in the NFL, you know, they finished the regular season number 2 overall in points allowed, 17 points a game. And then they've gotten better in the playoffs. They held the Dolphins, the Bills, and the Ravens, who are 3 of the top 5 offenses in the NFL.
Good offenses. Yeah.
To 41 points in 3 games.
Yeah. Some of that also has to do with like how they're attacking the other teams offensively, kind of like you said, like with the Ravens holding the ball for longer times instead of quick ass touchdowns with like Tyreek Hill and that. But their defense is good. They're nothing to slouch at. They're really not.
So
shout out to fucking Spags.
Keep your eyes peeled for the white boy breaking tackles.
Big McCaff.
Right? My last one that I'm looking at is Brock Purdy versus the Chiefs defense.
Ooh,
you know,
that's the one, bro.
You mentioned the last time these two teams played in the Super Bowl, the Niners did not have Christian McCaffrey, who was the X factor and game changer for that whole unit. Nope. You know, that Deebo Samuel was kind of doing his McCaffrey thing, running the ball as much as he was catching it.
They had Raheem Mostert, Tevin Coleman.
Yeah, it's just different now with McCaffrey being back there, Brandon Ayuk ascending to be like a number 1 really wide receiver. You know, Deebo Samuel still being like a top 10 guy. Having George Kittle out there at the tight end position, the best fullback in the game, and Kyle Juszczyk. It takes a lot in terms of like resources that you're dedicating to shut these guys down. You know, with all 5 of those guys on the field. This year, when they have all 5 of those guys on the field and Trent Williams, the Niners are averaging 7.2 yards per play out of any formation. As long as those guys are on the field, they average 7.2 yards per play. And so with defenses having to limit and use all these resources to try to like shut some of those guys down, I feel like Brock Purdy is going to have opportunities to run just like he did in that Baltimore or in the Lions game. Yeah. That second half, that game changed because he started using his legs.
Yeah, they switched completely. And
he had 50 yards rushing just in the second half and like 3 or 4 third down conversions where he just one look, everyone has that back turned to me, I'm getting out. Yeah. And if you're going to account for Brock Purdy's running like he's Lamar Jackson, that's going to open up holes elsewhere. Yeah.
You're giving up something.
Yep.
Man, I don't know, brother. So, like, in each position for the 49ers, you could probably say they got a top 10 guy in each position offensively. I'm saying on the offensive side. Like, Kittle's easily top 10, probably top 5. You know, McCaffrey top 5 for sure, maybe even the best. Deebo top 10. You know, so there's a lot of good fucking receivers, so that's kind of tough. Ayuk as well is really good. But I don't know if he's top 10, but if you were to look at something,
definitely top 10 number 2 receiver.
Yeah, for sure. He's really good. So, like, I guess you would say the only weak link per se, you know, with air quotes, is Brock Purdy. He's also kind of an unknown. Like, we've seen him do some stuff. Last year playoffs, we didn't really get to see a whole lot. He got hurt. And then in these 2 games, he had a bad first half versus the Lions. And he played okay versus the Packers. Didn't turn the ball over. Like, I'll take that, you know, over any stat that you want to give me. But He doesn't have to win, but if we're talking about defenses, the Packers defense isn't great, and the Lions defense isn't great. This is definitely by far going to be the best defense he's seen, I would say maybe all year. So it's going to be interesting to see this in the Super Bowl, like your first Super Bowl, and, kind of just looking at a lot of the press conferences this week. And, he looked a little, gee, Willikers, this is great. I'm in the fucking Super Bowl, So I'm picking Spags for this one, bro. I'm picking the defense versus the 49ers. I love Kyle Shanahan, but it's hard to run on the Chiefs. It's hard to pass on them. They kind of figure you out. They figure you out. And if they're going to hold the ball and the 49ers defense kind of looking how they're looking, I don't know. I'm not going to say it's easy. It's still going to be a hard game, but this is going to be the make or break game for Purdy to see like if he's going to be the guy, for the foreseeable future for San Francisco. Because like as of right now, I still believe in him. I think he's good. I don't think he's, average. I think at this point he's proven that he's a good football player, but I like Spags, bro.
Yeah.
Coach Spagnuolo and that goddamn defense has just been really good all year, man. So
Spags he liked to send the heat. He likes
He'll
to
do
blitz. He likes to get after the quarterback. We've seen Brock Purdy, like when he gets blitzed, tends to be either feast or famine. Like it's either going to be a spectacular play that's just a ball right over the outstretched arm of a defender, 1 inch above his hand.
I'll tell you what, it's always that middle, that down the middle throw almost every time.
Or he throws a pick, or he throws a ball that should have been picked that got dropped. The last 2 weeks, he should have thrown 4 interceptions. The Lions dropped 2 easy ones. The Packers dropped 2 easy ones.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Chiefs aren't going to drop 2 ducks.
Nah, maybe 1. I mean, Purdy is who he is. Like, you can call it luck or not. He gets away with it. So, and he's been doing it for almost literally every single game he plays in. There's always a ball or 2. You're just like, oh my God, how did they not pick that? And at this point, I'm like, look, he's not Jesus Christ. This is just what he does. You know what I'm saying? He's just a risky dude. But it works for him.
But I think that we're going to get those like high variance plays where like you could swing the whole game with a pick 6 or a pick in the red zone, something like that. It's either going to be a spectacular play by Purdy to extend the play and to find somebody in a tight window, or it could be a game changing play going back the other way.
No, that's true. But with that being said, though, I don't know which Chiefs linebacker is going to do it though. With the injuries that they had, he might be able to get away with it like that. What we're talking about. He might be able to get away with that, but it just might be other things that he'll just fuck up with. Just maybe decision making and a lot of miss passes and completions and shit like that. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I see him probably getting sacked at least 5 times in this game though, for sure.
Yikes!
I just think like the Chiefs they're gonna score. I would say first 2 possessions are definitely gonna score. So it's like, all right, Niners, if you don't score, then we're gonna play Purdy ball, and I don't like the way he comes from behind. All 4 of their losses this year. Well, how many losses they got this year? 4 or 5? I don't remember.
I think it's 4.
Yeah, they got 5 losses.
Oh, they won.
I would say at least, something like that. I would say at least 4 of them was pretty much all on Purdy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it's Purdy ball coming from behind type shit. We saw he's got some high highs, but his lows are really bad. That's the separation between being good and great. So if they fall behind, it's Chiefs all day. And I kind of see that. I kind of see that in the horizon. I see it like a fucking somebody stuck in the Sahara. I see the water, but it's not a mirage. It's actually water.
Well, Purdy gonna be thirsty to win a Super Bowl over the GOAT, but
for sure. Whoa, the GOAT, easy.
Yeah, I feel like the game could be decided right there as well. What's your third matchup that you're looking for? Last one we'll give.
Oh, Mahomes versus the field. Is he the GOAT or not? That's it. The 49ers defense has been showing leaky holes. And the Chiefs kind of, flipped the switch. I would say similar to like the 04 Lakers with Gary Payton and Karl Malone. just they're chilling, enjoying the regular season, doing their thing. All of a sudden, this playoffs, they've looked damn near unstoppable. I mean, one of the best teams. They destroyed the Ravens. They made Lamar look stupid. They made first round. I got to go back and look at each round, but they've pretty much dominated, really good teams. The Bills, we thought were going to be the hot team rolling in, killing everybody. We thought they were going to be looking like the Giants, beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Bills shut them down pretty easy. Dolphins, cold. Somehow Tua couldn't throw in the cold, but Mahomes had a great fucking game in negative degree weather. Just saying. I mean, Tua was a top 10 quarterback all year this year. It's just, they look good, man. They really do, bro. They beat a hot Bills team. They beat a really good Dolphins offense, and they beat the fuck out of the Ravens. I mean, it was a close game, but like their defense pretty much shut down Lamar, And I just see this as Patrick Mahomes' like introduction to being the best quarterback of all time, man. Like I don't want to go too much into it because we can talk about it later. But it's just Mahomes versus the field. That's it.
It is crazy that like when Tom Brady won that 7th Super Bowl up there in Tampa Bay, like
yeah, bro,
we immediately were like, no one is ever going to come close to achieving these heights.
And I mean,
no player is ever going to have the possibility to win 7 Super Bowls. And then 3 years later, Mahomes has a chance to sit at 3 already.
Yeah.
And, like, at this pace, would surpass Tom Brady and win more Super Bowls than him. It's just wild to me, like, how quickly context and NFL history and how we look at these things can change. Especially if you just rewind the clock to where he lost to Joe Burrow in the Bengals,
Yeah, that was one bad half.
2 years ago. You know what I mean? And we had a whole different narrative. And now, we're talking about him being the GOAT 5 years into his playing career.
Yeah, because he figured that out. He figured out what the Bengals were doing. And at that time, he was still being like a gunslinger, throwing it all over the place, trying to do whatever he wanted. And it was like, all right, let's just play 2 high safeties. They can't do shit. And he kind of struggled with just sitting in the pocket and just throwing the ball, which was weird because you were just like, you can do all this other shit, but you can't just sit there and throw it. It was very strange, but he's kind of figured that out. He's a machine, man. I just think he's going to operate like he's number 1 basically in almost every passing playoff statistic, which is insane. Not in totals, like I said on our last pod. Not in totals, but just averages, completion percentages. Any percentage and average, he's literally number 1. And it's insane. It's fucking insane. It sucks, Brady. We're going to forget about we're going to see if someone that great is going to be forgotten so quickly. It's so insane to me. Like, I'm not, of course we're not going to forget Brady, but like, this shit is crazy how fast this happened, man. Like LeBron didn't come after Jordan for years.
Right.
And he didn't win a championship until he was in Miami. Like that was years and years and years after Jordan, but this is immediately.
And the crazy thing is, I know it sounds blasphemous to say. I know Tom Brady is greater right now, but I think Pat Mahomes is better than Tom Brady ever was.
Yeah. It is. And at this point, I can say definitely at this point and even overall, because like at Tom Brady's his 3rd Super Bowl, I don't even think he had won a regular season MVP at that point. He wasn't really like a great quarterback, per se. He was good at game-winning drives, but it was mostly the defense.
I'll just keep it close into the 4th quarter, and then I'll take over with 8 minutes left to go and lead us on a great drive.
But, because Mahomes has 2
Mahomes,
MVPs?
He's doing it four quarters long. 2 MVPs. Probably could have had another one. Like the man is just something else. He's something else.
I think he has 3 regular season MVPs, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna look up his stats, but yeah, he's good, man. If he wins this one, the conversation is going to be crazy.
All right. So let's talk about their pathway to winning. The keys to a Chiefs victory. We talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the pod. I think being balanced and conservative and controlling their clock is definitely going to be important. Getting Isaiah Pacheco going, the same way they did against the Ravens. Putting that pressure on Brock Purdy to play from behind, like you mentioned, and not have a whole lot of clock time to get it done with. That's when butts started getting tight and people start making mistakes. Pat Mahomes, like you talked about, also really playing within himself now and within the flow of the game, and is not taking unnecessary risks.
It looks easy for him.
Is not airing it out, putting the ball in dangerous situations. He has a top 5 defense that he can lean on to get stops, like they did in the second half of the Baltimore game, where you never felt like he was chasing anything and that they were comfortable, knowing their defense would be able to limit them.
Yep, no turnovers.
And having a running game that they can lean on. Now you're seeing the Chiefs run the ball in 3rd and 3.
Yep.
You see them run the ball on 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, and having the confidence that they're going to get 4 or 5 yards and get back into a manageable situation. It just makes them so much harder to defend, when you have to start dedicating resources and putting guys in the box to load up on Pacheco. And now, Valdez Scantling can get behind somebody for 50 yards on a play action pass.
Exactly. And then on that, it's like you can stop all that, and then Mahomes just runs for 10 yards first down. Right. Mahomes just he did it last year in the Super Bowl. He did it a lot this year. It's like, God, man, what do you do with this team, bro? You're right, bro. He is really just playing like flawless fucking football, dude. He's a beast, man. It's just fun to watch. It really is. I'm just excited. I hope the Super Bowl is good, but if it happens, I already said when we watched that Tampa Bay Super Bowl, like, what did you think when you saw that this dude was getting harassed all game? And we knew it was going to happen. We did at that time. I was like, I don't give a fuck about the O-line. I feel like they're still going to win. This dude's unstoppable. But,
dude, I'll never forget that play where he ran like 85 yards in the backfield on a bum ankle just to get the ball back to the line of scrimmage. It's one of the greatest plays I've ever seen in my life.
It was like the whole game he was doing unbelievable shit, and the receivers were dropping the passes. I was like, this guy, like, if it was the other way around and the Bucs were playing the Chiefs, and Tom Brady was the quarterback of the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes the quarterback of the
they would have won by 35.
Yeah, it would have been the same shit, but like, I don't even think Brady would have scored. Like the Chiefs still got 9 points in that game. They still moved the ball up the field a little bit. Like Brady, when his line is bad, all credit to like those Giants teams, but the receivers and everything was different. Like he had Randy Moss is better than Tyreek Hill. Gronkowski is better than Kelsey. With all the numbers Kelsey has, Gronkowski has played way less games and their numbers are almost the same.
Right.
But God, bro, this dude, he's really fucking good. He's really elusive. I don't need. It's insane. I'm just enjoying it.
When you play Madden against like a little brother or someone who's a couple years younger than you, and you do the thing where you run back into your own end zone and then make it back to the line of scrimmage. That's what came to my mind watching Mahomes in that Super Bowl. I was like, he's playing Madden on rookie.
Yep, I love the old Maddens with no fatigue. Now they got all this fatigue and shit. You can't do all the crazy shit unless you put it on arcade mode. But yeah, it's insane, man. I'm just enjoying greatness, man. With all the LeBron hate and the Steph hate that everybody's been doing over these past years, I just got to enjoy the greatness, I'm just enjoying
the greats while they're here because you never know. Yeah. He could crash his motorcycle underneath a truck like Jason Williams. And
that's such an unnecessary shot. That's such an unnecessary shot for no reason. J. Will has nothing to do with this at all.
I'll tell you the reason. I spoke to the man on the phone. He said he was coming to my 13th birthday party. He says, "Yeah, I'm on the way. I'll see you soon." Oh.
So you got the arch. What do they call it?
Ghosted me. I made a fucking poster with his accolades on it. I printed pictures and shit off the internet. I was like, "Look at this superstar that I got rolling up to my 13th birthday." You know who showed up?
Oh my god, nobody.
Chris Carrawell.
At least you had a player still come.
Hell yeah.
Come on, man.
Chris Carrawell. So I got mad love for Chris Carrawell. After that, he took me to see the 76ers play the Wizards in the D-Dome.
Oh, that's dope.
Got to meet AI, Kyle Korver, Antoine Jameson, Gilbert Arenas, Caron Butler.
You don't need J. Will. I don't need
J. Will. But you're still going to catch an occasional stray from me.
Hey, man, so you still had a good time, though. You still had a good time. I get it, though. He's always going to catch some strays. I got you. I was like, damn, this is about to be the story of an evil, character in a fucking movie. It was like, Jimmy Will didn't show up, and no one showed up. Nobody came to my birthday party,
Right.
and now I just plot on his fucking demise
Right.
for the rest of my life.
And I found a new isotope of plutonium.
I was like, I went to UNC, and I went to a UNC Duke game and just clubbed them, just.
Hey, Jay Will, next thing you know, I was at Maryland Duke with a gigantic fat head of John Shire with a dick drawn on his mouth.
Oh shit, man!
But yeah, appreciate greatness while it's here. That's the point,
For
guys.
Oh man.
Other side of that coin, keys to the Chiefs' victory. Can't let the greatness of Christian McCaffrey beat you. Like,
No, that's true. I don't think he can do it individually, bro. Brock Purdy's actually going to have to make some plays. Like, relatively, we don't know every single player on this Chiefs defense. Like, we're not going to look at this defense and be like, oh, yeah, they had maybe later on. But, like, at this point in time, we're not going to be like, oh, they got, 8 all-pros on their team.
right.
But, like, I really just know, Ladarius Sneed is really good. McDuffie's good. Justin Reed is decent. And you got Chris Jones. Besides that, I mean, it's just a bunch of dudes, for the most part. Respectfully.
Yeah.
They're all fucking good. But
Who are playing well in a scheme that fits them. But
Yeah,
not superstars on every level.
nah.
Yeah.
But if the 49ers actually go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, you need to limit McCaffrey to just having a good game and not a back-breaking game. Can we keep him to 90 yards and a touchdown and not 220 and 2 touchdowns? Can we let him be the engine? Can we just let him have a regular good game and not put him in the Hall of Fame? He's the greatest white skill position player ever game. This is his legacy that he's going to leave behind kind of game.
He's just
Can
the
you
best.
just make him look good instead of a world beater?
He's the best. So say he gets what he got in the Lions game. 20 carries, 90 yards, 2 tutties.
Boy,
Niners win?
those 2 touchdowns?
That's just rushing. Receiving, 4 receptions, 42 yards.
No, they got to do a little better. They got to do a little better than that.
He's got to get more than that? Wow.
No,
Okay.
no,
What if he does?
No, I'm saying the Chiefs.
Oh,
that's too much.
Gotcha.
That's too much.
So what if he does
That's damn near 150 yards and 2 touchdowns.
So what if he does what he did against the Packers? 17 carries, 98 yards. Also 2 tutties.
I think you got to hold him to 100 yards and a touchdown. I think that's the bar that you're trying to set. And that's
Honestly,
how great Christian McCaffrey is. That we're that'll be a win for us if we could just hold him to 100 yards and a touchdown.
Honestly, bro, on my life, I don't see him getting 75 rushing yards versus them. I just think they're
less. You think he's getting less?
Yeah, because I just think that
the Chiefs gonna win.
Spagnuolo is literally just gonna stack the box. He did the same shit versus the Ravens. They're like, how? They're like, how are they gonna stop the fucking Ravens? They've been scoring so many points. They've been rushing all over everybody. He was like, all right, here's 9 people in the box. Beat me passing. And they got 2 big plays, but that was pretty much it for the majority of the game. They scored 10 points.
We mentioned earlier, how McCaffrey can split out and be a wide receiver and how they're averaging 10 yards a play when they go empty formation. You put 9
But that's the thing.
They'll just motion McCaffrey out into the slot and say, okay, let's go.
Hey, we'll see. It's going to be a chess match. It'll be a chess match. You know where I'm leaning. I got to go towards the greatness. I love McCaffrey, but McCaffrey's not going to be considered one of the best running backs of all time.
Why
the
not?
Quarterback on the other side is.
Not if Kendrick Perkins is doing the selections.
No, I love McCaffrey, but all time great. I don't know about that. He's good. He's really good. He just doesn't. It's the longevity factor. He had a couple seasons where he kind of didn't do shit in Carolina. He's good though. He is really fucking good. I mean, and when I say all time great, I'm talking about top 5.
Right.
I don't think he's a top 5 running back, but he is really good.
Last key to the Chiefs victory for me, turning over Brock Purdy. We talked about he had 4 picks dropped in the last 2 playoff games.
Yep, it's happening.
These are the type of plays that change, the complexion of a game. A pick 6, could be a huge momentum swing. an interception in the red zone when it looks like the other team could score could be a game changing play. And the other thing about intercepted Brock Purdy is you're giving Patrick Mahomes a shorter field. And when you give Patrick Mahomes a short field and he starts a possession at the 50-yard line or in, you can pretty much go ahead and put 7 points up on the board.
Facts. No, that is facts. Little prop bet. Brock Purdy turnovers. They got it at 0.5.
I'll take the over.
So you think he's definitely going to get an interception of some sort?
I think he's due for one. He keeps putting that baby in danger. I think the Chiefs have the dogs in the secondary. Like you mentioned early with McDuffie and Snead and Reed, their safety. You give them one of those moon balls that he threw, it's not going to bounce off their helmet like it did down there in Detroit. God.
Yeah, he definitely should have had. I would say in that Detroit game, he should have had 3 picks for sure. He only ended up throwing 1, but yeah, that one duck. Oh my God, that Ayuk shit was so lucky. That was so lucky.
I don't see the Chiefs corners allowing that to happen.
Nah, but who you picking, man? You want to do that, or you want to keep going in some other conversation?
No, let's do the keys to the Niners victory since we just did the Chiefs, and then we can give our picks. How about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
My keys to the Niners victory, you talked about it. I think it was the very first thing you said. That defensive line has got to get after Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, they got to get pressure.
They have a star foursome down there on the D line with Bosa, with Chase Young, with Eric Armstead, with Javon Hargrave. All 4 of those players have made the Pro Bowl at some time in the last 3 years. You know, like the calling card and how they got to the Super Bowl 4 years ago was that they could just rush 4 and they didn't have to blitz. And those 4 guys would beat 5 blockers. They'd beat 6 blockers at times.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen that so far these playoffs. Chase Young has been pretty invisible. I haven't heard Eric Armstead's name pretty much at all. They're getting kind of gashed on these like outside runs, you know, where these pitches and these end arounds and these things where the Niners, they want their 4 linemen going north-south, getting penetration. And the Lions at times were happy to just be like, all right, you get penetration, and then we'll run it right around you into this big gap that you just left and be able to have cutback lanes. I think these 4 have got to set the tone for the game. They're missing all-pro guard Joe Thuney. He's going to be a game-time decision. He did not play against the Ravens. I don't think he's going to play. I don't think he's going to play. So they're going to have a backup playing guard. We already talked about Jawan Taylor's struggles at tackle. You guys have got to beat these 2 into submission. All right?
Yeah.
At least 2 guys, every single play, is going to have a favorable matchup.
Yeah.
You got to
but they have to. They got to get to him, and they have to get to him with the 4 because when they blitz, those guys are not covering. I mean, I know the Chiefs don't have great receivers, and like some of the numbers look fucking insane, but I feel like they've kind of figured out some things to get them open, like scheme-wise, so you got to get to him with the 4 because when you blitz, it's over. Y'all are getting torched. You're getting straight up torched. But also, I mean, don't overcommit it and then have Patrick Mahomes with like fucking 70 rush yards in this game. So it's tough, man. Because like even in that first Super Bowl, they only got 1 sack in that game.
Yeah, that's not going to get it done. You're going to need to have Mahomes running for his life like he was against the Bucs. That's what you guys got to do.
And he's still different though, even if he does it. I just believe in the boy.
Yeah,
I believe in him.
I mean, we talked about it. We don't need to keep gushing about Mahomes. Everybody knows how good he is, but
slobbering.
You can't make it easy on him. You've got to make him feel you early and often. My second key, Terry, make the wide receivers be the ones to beat you for Kansas City. Sell out on stopping the middle of the field, stopping the run, stopping Travis Kelce sitting in these zones, stopping Rashee Rice with these slants and crossing routes across the middle, and we will give you the boundary. And Marquez Valdes-Scantling and, Tony and the dude who they picked up back from the Jets.
Tony plays. Yeah.
If they can consistently win on the outside and y'all catch 10-plus passes, then we just fucking lose. But you got to think like they're going to give up some big plays on the boundary, but they're not going to get beat with consistency out there. And you'd count on Scantling or Tony to drop a couple passes in key situations. I just think you've got to shut down that center area of the field. Don't let the Kansas City Chiefs run the ball all over your ass. You got to make them one-dimensional. Take away Kelsey. And if those receivers go off, they go off. I'll live with that. But
you got to score. You got to score
letting
early.
Travis Kelsey in this run game be the final stroke, stabbing us in the
No, that's facts. That's facts. And they got to score early. They have to. Because you don't want like a fucking shootout. That's not what you want at all.
No.
Just score early, hold the ball, keep time of possession. You'll be all right. But that's the only way they can win. I don't think they're so one dimensional, man. It's insane. I mean, I know that they're good at what they do. They're excellent at what they do. But if they do fall behind, they got like 2 come from behind victories this year out of the 7 chances that they had. So
well, I gotta say, it feels like Kyle Shanahan can't ever win because on one hand, we talk about how he blew a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl, and he blew a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter in the Super Bowl, and how he blew a 17-point lead in the NFC Championship. And we talk about when you go up, this guy can't hold on to the leads. And then on the other hand, we say, well, they only had 2 come from behind victories. They're not very good at playing from behind. They become one-dimensional. And they can't win games when they're ahead.
I get it.
They can't win games from behind. But somehow they've been the most dominant regular season team over the last 4 years and are playing in their second Super Bowl.
No. The 28-3 shit is rare. And also, that's a different team with different personnel. Like, I think, with all due respect to your Falcons team, the one that went to that Super Bowl, the 49ers teams he has had are better than them, bro. Like, no disrespect, but the roster is just fucking almost flawless down the board. The only thing they don't have is a quarterback, pretty much, and that's just what they want. That's what they've had decided to do. It's just to have a mediocre rookie quarterback on the rookie scale of paying, so they can have everybody else be great. I'm not saying they can't. They can play with a lead. It's just one instance, bro. Don't shit on Kyle Shanahan because he lost the worst Super Bowl ever. But it's totally fine. He can play with a lead. This team, they can play with the lead, but they can't play from behind.
You better jump out to that lead early, like you said, so they don't get one-dimensional with the clock ticking down. And now we gotta abandon the ground game and let Brock Purdy cook. To that point, man, my last key to this game. You can't give Patrick Mahomes extra possessions. That means no interceptions.
No penalties.
No missed field goals. The 49ers kicker has been shaky this whole year, this whole postseason. He's a rookie. If you miss a 45-yard field goal or a 55-yard field goal and you give Patrick Mahomes a short field, we talked about it earlier. That's 7 points up on the board. So
it is.
You got to take care of the ball. Don't throw any interceptions in your own half. Don't have any, we tried to fake a punt on 4th down and we got fucking stuffed like the Bills did. Do not give this man another opportunity. Do not give him a short field. You've got to limit him and make those possessions precious because it's almost like in soccer. Mahomes is like, when you miss a breakaway, the other team almost always scores in the next 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
If you miss a breakaway in this game, you give this man an interception, you give him a short field, he's going to score. He's just that good.
Yeah, it's points on the board. And Moody has missed a field goal in both playoff games, so it's on the board. It's definitely on the board for him to do that. But, I mean, that's the keys definitely for them. I mean, both teams kind of have a similar strategy, to be honest. But the Chiefs I would say the Chiefs have a better ability of winning, in different ways. But they do kind of have, a similar, tactic of running the ball a lot, keeping the time of possession, no turnovers, no mistakes, just play clean football. That's kind of what both teams would do. And that's why they're in the, both teams are in the Super Bowl. They're just good at what they do. They're great at it.
Yeah, don't overextend themselves. All right, let's give our picks.
They're pretty even.
Let's give our picks. Who do you have taking home the Super Bowl trophy?
I got Chiefs winning this one pretty easily, bro.
You got a score?
28-17.
Ooh, I like that.
Easy.
A little 11-point victory, kind of cruising to it.
Chiefs, these teams are even besides the quarterback. McCaffrey's better than Pacheco, but overall, the Chiefs can run the ball, so I'm not comparing them, but like they're pretty even. Besides, Mahomes is one of the best of all time, and Purdy's kind of unknown. And the kicker for the Chiefs is better, so I mean, I don't know. It's just more ways for the Chiefs to win, bro. I got Chiefs, and 49ers have been favored in every single game, and for some reason they're favored in this game too, which is fucking insane to me. But
they're
whatever.
favored. The 49ers are favored right now.
Yeah, I think at 1.5, maybe. Yeah, 1.5.
I saw somewhere Patrick Mahomes.
You thought the Chiefs?
I saw Patrick Mahomes is 9-1-1 all time as an underdog, and is 3-0 in the playoffs straight up.
He's a beast. He's a fucking beast. He's one of the whatever. I'm not gonna slob on him again. I've been doing it, but
how are we gonna make him the underdog? I don't get that.
Hey man, that's what they did. Let me check the line. I'm gonna check the line one more time. But when I first saw it, it was at 1.5. Then it went up to 2.
While you're checking it,
it's San Francisco too.
San Francisco,
they're favored by -2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they got a good team.
Yeah, I'm with you though. I'm taking the Chiefs in this one. Like, I'm not betting against my guy Pat Mahomes. He's just proven to be too great. He finally has a balanced team on him. He doesn't have to do as much. I like that 28-17 one that you gave.
Yeah, where are you going?
I'm gonna go a little bit closer. I'm going to say 27-24. I think the Chiefs still get it done. I think, the Niners are trying to drive down and get a field goal, and they throw a back-breaking pick to end the game.
Oh, man, that would be crazy. The narratives, man, the fucking narratives. Brock Purdy. I really am really interested about like how Purdy's going to play, man. Because it can either be like a train wreck or he's going to play like fine. You know what I'm saying? But I just think either one isn't going to be good enough. I don't even know like what to say about this dude. I like him. He plays like I would play. Just doing a bunch of shit.
For the Niners to win the Super Bowl, does Christian McCaffrey have to be Super Bowl MVP?
If he goes ballistic, I can see it. For them to win,
like I just don't see a scenario where Brock Purdy wins Super Bowl MVP. Like I feel like if the Niners win, either Nick Bosa is going to have like 3.5 sacks and terrorize Patrick Mahomes, or Christian McCaffrey is going to have like 150 plus yards and multiple touchdowns.
I think I agree with you.
I just don't see Brock Purdy going out there and slinging the pill for 300 yards and no picks in the Super Bowl.
I think I agree with you. It's probably going to be the skill players, but McCaffrey probably would be the favorite. I mean, it's just because of the way they play. They don't take a lot of deep shots for the most part, depending on scenarios and down and distance and shit. But yeah, I would say yes. I feel like you're spot on that.
Whereas we already know if the Chiefs win, who the MVP is going to be. And I think that's why both of us are picking the Chiefs. The quarterback's the most important position in football. They have the best one. The gap in this game is not particularly close. Both teams have great skill position guys, whether it's Kelsey or their running back. And we already listed all the guys for the 49ers. But it just seems like quarterback is going to be the difference in this game. And I mean, at this point, you got to be a fool to pick against Patrick Mahomes.
Nah, that's true, man. Well said. And honestly, bro, for the rest of his career, and as long as Andy Reid is the coach, you bet on this dude, you're going to win a lot of money. He's only let me down personally 4 times. I bet on his games at least like 40 of them. And he's really only let me down like 4 times.
And the last time he did was against Joe Burrow like 2 years ago.
Yeah, he fucked that one up. He fucked that one up good. Yeah. Well, he fucked me in a Colts game, actually, last year. But besides that, he's been straight. Do you remember that Colts game they lost?
I sure don't.
Yeah, they lost the game in like week 4. They were undefeated coming against the
Jonathan Taylor run for 270 yards.
Honestly, I don't even think he played. They just lost the game. They didn't play well.
Oh, damn.
It's just one of those games,
Was that during their he can't beat the cover 2 times where they're like, we just played 2 deep safeties?
Because it was right after that was the following year after they lost to the Bengals. So, yeah, it was that.
Hey, like you mentioned though, he's moved past that level. You know, you give him
Yeah.
cover 2 now, and he's gonna beat you death by 1,000 cuts, just like Tom Brady
Yeah.
used to. So
Yep.
good
Average
luck,
yards per
guys.
play is around like 7.5. So I mean, they're doing it.
Holy shit.
Mhm.
Well, this is going to be a good one, man. I'm very excited. Thanks for reminding me that I need to contact my friends so that I don't end up watching this game at home by myself with fucking Dorito crumbs in my belly hair.
Yeah. I haven't. I mean, COVID aside, I don't think I've watched the Super Bowl by myself since like 2012, maybe 13. Oh, it's been a while. I think when Beyonce was a halftime show was the last time I didn't like go to a party. That was like the last time, and that Super Bowl was okay. That was the blackout in New Orleans, Ravens. Was it 49ers in that one? No, Ravens Saints. No, was it Saints? I don't know. No, Ravens 49ers. Kaepernick was in that bitch. I remember now. Flacco in that one. But yeah, that was the last time I'd watched like a Super Bowl, not at a party or like out somewhere. It's been a while, man.
What color do you think the Gatorade's going to be for the winning team? They dump on the coach.
For that type shit? I'm gonna go yellow.
Okay.
I'm gonna go yellow.
I feel like they're throwing the betters off. I feel like this could be the year that they break out the cucumber lime.
Hey man, that's the
Gatorade
same.
that nobody is accounting for. You guys all know it. It's a little salty. It's a little sweet. It's very refreshing. It's the number one Gatorade on the market. I've looked at all these prop bets everywhere. I see purple. I see yellow. I see blue. I see red. You know what I haven't seen? Fucking green. That's my pick. If you're going to bet on anything,
green.
Bet on the green Gatorade.
It's got to be significantly green, though. Don't hit me with that bullshit where it's like kind of close to being green or not. All that type of shit is close to yellow.
The fucking the frost mix that we did with you, me, and Eggland, where we just put all the different frosts together.
Yeah, no, that's true. So you're picking the Chiefs. I'm picking the Chiefs. Over under total points 47.5. Where are you going? I know you gave me your point total. You think it's
I said 27-24, so I'll have to go over.
So that'd be over. I think it'll be over. 47.5 is kind of low, but I don't know. It's a weird one. Yeah. Some of these bets are kind of spot on.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting good at this shit, man. It's very annoying. It's very, very annoying.
I saw an interesting bet. Shout out to the Bill Simmons pod for the first touchdown scorer of the game. Noah Gray.
Yeah.
Noah Gray, the second tight end for the Chiefs.
That'd be interesting.
Shit was like 80-1.
80. That's a good one. I can see him scoring.
You know how Andy Reid loves these tight end screens and shit. You know what I mean? When the other team gets aggressive. Like, I think that one's worth a flyer, man. Put $10 on this shit, win 800. I mean, you might as well.
Nah, that's facts. It's 80-1? That's
something like that. It was fucking ridiculous.
So basically, you put $1, you win 80.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I might have to look into that one. The way they're playing though, Lo, it's like they play so weird now. It's so different than what we have kind of been used to them playing. Like it's hard for me to adjust. But Noah Gray first touchdown. Has he scored in the last couple weeks? He hasn't scored in the last 2 games though. I don't know. I gotta think about that one. Or the last 3 games actually, he hasn't scored. So I'm That's an interesting one. If Tony plays, I'm gonna go Tony.
So you know that Vegas is like closed to betting for the players and everything. Like Vegas is pretty much shut down for the players until after the Super Bowl. After the Super Bowl happens, the ban is lifted. All the players can go out to the casinos. They can celebrate. They can place bets. They can do whatever the fuck they want all night long in Las Vegas. Are we going to get one player from either team arrested after the Super Bowl? Yeah. Is there going to be a Las Vegas incident where somebody got too fucked up? They didn't realize it was 6:30 in the morning. They're pissing on the sidewalk in front of somebody with their camera phone out.
If you let Patrick Mahomes Sr. do it, he'll lead the boys. He'll lead the boys to the promised land. That guy, he's fucking insane. I saw that they were asking Mahomes like a question about that in the presser. They were like, what do you think about your dad getting a DUI or whatever? You know, he didn't answer it. And in my mind, I was like, his dad has like 8 DWIs. I think he's fucking doesn't give a shit. Like he just knows his dad's a wild dude. It is what it is.
His dad need to be riding a fucking bicycle around Las Vegas. He'd be on the strip.
They're rich enough. He should just get a driver, bro. What the fuck? Like, get a driver.
He's going to be pedaling a rickshaw.
Bro, 8 DWIs is insane.
Yeah, I don't know if any players get arrested. I think you got to keep an eye on Patrick Mahomes' brother to catch a sexual assault charge.
So all the Mahomes.
Yeah,
all the Mahomes.
I think you got to keep an eye on that one. Hey, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas unless you commit a crime.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't fuck it up, guys. This Vegas Super Bowl should be fun though. Shout out to everybody in Vegas. I think I saw the cheap. It's not sold out yet, but like the cheapest ticket was $7,000.
What?
For a nosebleed? Yeah, bro. And I heard a suite cost $2 million.
Yeah, dude, you saw that shit that McCaffrey's his wife posted. She's like, I can't afford.
No, what she said? I missed it.
She was like, I can't afford a suite at the Super Bowl.
How much was it? It was like $2 million.
Yeah, it was over $2 million. Yeah,
that's. I mean, that's a lot, dude. That's a lot. And it's like, if it's not an individual business, the people in those suites, like, come on, bro, that's dumb as shit. Unless you're splitting it with like a bunch of rich people, that makes sense. But like $2 million,
yeah, I'm not
just to watch
that.
it in a fuck.
No,
even if I was completely rich as fuck, I'd still be like, that's kind of crazy. I could just throw like a dope ass party and watch it. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm that rich to be able to afford that, I'm like, man, you know what? I'm gonna throw a dope ass party somewhere. Like $2 million is fucking insane.
2 more questions for you, Terry.
Go ahead.
1, if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, do you think Travis Kelce will propose to Taylor Swift at midfield with the confetti coming down?
Nah, I don't think so. They've only been dating, and they gave out the true time when they met. They've really only been dating for like 9 months to a year or something like that. So that's kind of soon, bro. That'd be insane. If they do that, I'm out. Like as of right now, it's all cute and shit. It's cool. They're dating. It's fine. But if they do that, I mean, that's too much publicity, dog. Just live your life. What about you? You think so?
I think it's in play. I heard a report.
So crazy.
I heard a report from somewhere that Travis Kelce was planning on proposing after the Super Bowl. I forgot where I heard it from, but I heard it somewhere.
That'd be insane. Don't be listening to Mahomes' brother, bro.
Last question. Where will Usher's halftime performance rank in the all-time Super Bowl halftime shows?
Shit, we didn't even talk about that. Usher's probably going to be number...
You think it's going to be better than Maroon 5 in Atlanta?
Yeah. I think it'll definitely be top 10. What song do you think he's starting off with? Is he going with like, yeah? Is he going with like, DJ Fall in Love? What do you think we're going with? He's got jams. Because I think the first joint, he'll probably definitely go more pop. But his R&B bag is crazy.
Man, that's a great question.
His R&B bag is crazy.
I think he probably starts it off with yeah. I think he probably starts it off with yeah.
That's got to be his most popular song for sure.
Hopefully he plays Let It Burn and Confessions as well.
Do we know the guests?
I don't know the guests. Do you know who the guests are?
Nah, I can look that up. But I'm looking at his top 5 songs on Spotify. Yeah, it's number 1. He's got 1.1 billion streams.
Damn.
Of yeah. Which is insane. Number 2 is DJ Gotta's Fall in Love.
Oh, so he'll probably do that one. I forgot about that song. That shit was newer.
Yeah. That was a great song in the clubs, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it was. I think we might see some You Got It Bad.
What about My Boo?
Is Alicia Keys coming?
I don't know.
You know, they always bring out somebody. I thought about it. I was like, wait, could he bring out Alicia Keys and do we got Love in This Club that might make an appearance? Bro,
it doesn't say. They got fucking bets on who the guests are going to be. It doesn't say who the guests are. That's fucking hilarious. If he does,
I want to hear Caught Up. I want to hear You Don't Have to. Yeah, I want to hear You Don't Have to Call.
You don't have to call. Yeah. How long? Because it's like 30 minutes, right? Halftime?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, for sure, I think we're going to see Lil Jon. For sure.
Yep.
Vegas. We might see Alicia Keys. Because My Boo is a good song.
Oh, yeah.
We might see Alicia Keys. We're not going to see P. Diddy. That's not happening. I see a list.
No,
I'm just like,
come on.
Diddy's at plus 390 to be a guest. I'm like, he might as well make that plus 50,000. Like, he's not going to show his face in the Super Bowl. That'd be fucking hilarious.
You think
Post Malone lives close to Vegas, so they got him at minus 400.
He might play Trading Places and grab Taylor Swift's ass.
Oh, that'd be crazy. Justin Bieber, maybe? You think Biebs?
That would be a nice little pull out.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I can see that.
Ah, man. I don't know. They're not giving me any names. So I guess it's a surprise. That'd be dope, though. A nice little surprise would be dope. Do they always do a surprise? I feel like they name them sometimes.
Final question. Is Usher the king of R&B?
With all due respect, we know who it is.
Don't say it. Do not.
The Chocolate Factory.
We are not going to the light skin gang. Do you
know
the
what are
light
you talking
skin
about?
man? Oh, I thought you were talking about Chris Brown.
No, I mean he's good too. He's up there. But
all right. Oh, you talk about the man, the myth, the prisoner.
Mr. Pod Piper. Respectfully, he's the king. You know what I'm saying? It sucks, but he's the guy. He's the guy.
I'm gonna have to go with Usher, man.
You going Usher?
Yeah, that Confessions album. He was the first artist since the Beatles to have 3 number ones from the same album. Like,
yeah, that's true. That Confessions joint was really good. That was a really good fucking album.
That's one of the best albums of all time.
Hold on.
I think he just had more hits than R. Kelly too.
Dude, Ignition remix, Same Girl, I Believe I Can Fly, I'm a Flirt, Bump and Grind, AJ Nothing But a Number. He got hits. And he's still on Spotify, and he's in prison for the next 70 years. Like, he's still on all music platforms, and we will never see him again.
My mind is telling me no. But my jailer is also telling me no.
Yeah, but Usher's up there, though. This is going to be a good one, for us, at least. I don't know about everybody else. Because did you see the crazy one they did in LA?
Call me Robert.
The Dr. Dre joint they did in LA, like, remember, like, we loved it, but the Gen Z motherfuckers hated it. Yeah.
Listen, man, we sat through fucking seeing the Red Chili Peppers 4 times in the Super Bowl. We sat through
Justin Timberlake,
The Who. We sat through Paul McCartney, who is out there as a 65-year-old man singing songs from Britain in the 60s. It's time. It's time, guys.
Fucking Justin Timberlake. He ruined it for the next, I think like the next 6 were horrible. They're just like, we can't take any risks. It has to just be rock.
Yeah.
And they were garbage. They were all bad. I even think the games were bad. I don't even remember any of the games from those.
Right? Me neither. All I remember is Janet Jackson's nipple.
Facts.
All right, guys. It's been another great episode of the Habitual Line Steppers podcast. The NBA trade deadline, I believe, ends on Friday. Let me just double check real quick.
Ooh, that'd be... Yeah. Why do they always do it during Super Bowl? We talked about that before. I feel like everybody's making that aware.
Thursday night, the NBA trade deadline.
Oh, okay.
Is coming around. That means on Friday, we will have a podcast for you all. We know there's going to be a flurry of moves. Maybe there could be 1 or 2 that shake up the landscape of the NBA. Apparently, LeBron James is on the trade block for the Los Angeles Lakers. We will talk about all that and more on Friday, recapping NBA trade season. Until then, North Carolina, continue to stand up.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to our podcast this evening. Thank you. You're far too kind.